Time to take the engine out of the 91 F350 here. I'm putting in a 6.9 IDI, and it's got a very poorly running 460 in it that burns a lot of oil and doesn't run good. So first step's gonna be to take this big bumper off, and then I'm gonna take the core support out, because I might have to swap to the diesel one, I think. I don't know, I'm gonna look at it when I get in there. And then I just like to take all this off when I'm dealing with these heavy engines. It's easier to push them in and out. So first step's gonna be to get all of the old garbage out and then start putting cool new stuff in. So I've been thinking that I was gonna have to modify this, and I was also a little bit curious why it was built tipped back, kind of like that. Turns out the bolts are actually just in slots for like the factory bumper alignment. So I'm gonna be able to just dial this body line in right where I want it when I put this thing back. So it's gonna save me some time. All I gotta do is, you know, make a little winch hole or something, and maybe some lights. I don't know, maybe a couple of recovery rings, D-rings, weld them on right there. This thing's really stout. I'll show you a closer look when I take it off, but it's one of the best homemade bumpers I've ever seen. So if whoever made this thing is watching this video, you done good, like real good. This is by far the best DIY bumper I've ever seen. Look at these gussets on the winch receiver tube, or trailer hitch, whatever you prefer. I mean, look at this thing. It's built like an absolute tank. The welds are just shockingly good. I mean, whoever made this thing properly knew what they're doing. Okay, now it's time to get into the front clip, battery, radiator, such things. Thankfully, I'm not keeping like 60% of this stuff, so that's going to make the whole process a little bit easier. This is definitely not diesel rated. Some spooky green wires going up here. Clearly, bad ones. I don't know what that is. Got the factory battery tied down. I think they actually come like this. Probably gonna have to keep using this one. I want to know what this does before I cut it. So I'm chasing some green mystery wires that will run straight to the battery. I'm trying to figure out where they go, and they dip into the cab. Never an ideal sign, but they're gonna pop out right under here. Oh, look at that. I think that's brake controller. No way. That's unique, okay. We'll get a label for that. We'll get her dialed in later. This coolant reservoir is actually in really decent shape, but it goes right where my second battery goes, so it's gonna go. Thankfully, it's completely empty. Gotta live with that. This is really in good shape. Somebody should probably buy this. It's just gonna need the headlights. Over it is gonna get the depth. Got new bolts for that anyways. So, we're gonna need a battery tray over here, which we can get from the parts truck. And then this one's a little crusty. I think I repainted the other ones. I gotta check, I can't remember. It's not bad though, still functional. Got a lot of vacuum garbage to get rid of. So these grills, they have one little miniature 932 fastener right there, and then 4 plastic clips. But don't forget the miniature fastener, because otherwise you break things. Still got the air dam right there. Pop that out too. This is premium. This last plastic clip here does not want to play nice. Oh, things are thick. Hey, look at that. No. There's the problem. It's all weird out on the end. Air dam removed. So to remove these, you literally just reach back behind there, push up on the tab. 90% of the time they pop right out. And if that doesn't work, you can reach around the front with a screwdriver a little pressure. You have to do it this one. Pop free, no damage. Never seen one of these on brick nails before. That will be very nice. Take this off next. Be super careful with this plastic because it'll just give up on you. Like, that is just there. There's actually a bolt that lives right in here. Holds this to this, and then a rubber piece right here. But the first one is probably going to be that bolt. I might have to take these fender flares off to get this whole thing out. I don't know. Same on the other side. So we've got a plastic clip situation right here in the back, and then actually one more bolt into a body clip. Well, that plastic clip did not survive. The other side popped out perfectly. So I'm going to have to take those fender flares off to get that off because it's totally wedged in there, which I've been kind of not excited about because I have absolutely no idea what lives under those things. It could be really bad. It's not bad. It's going to be stoked. It's going to be stoked if I don't have to cut every single one of these screws. It'll be a fender flare rust reveal. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, no way. I did not expect that. That's excellent. No rust under that first fender flare was super encouraging, but gotta keep the expectations low. Could be a disaster under this one. Screws are coming out. All but one screw came out perfectly. I may break this screw. Oh no, right out, awesome. Okay, let's see how bad it is. How much work do I have to do? Basically none. Oh, this one's even better. Like barely even paint damage. Sweet. That gives you a little bit of an indication of maybe the places this truck has gone. It's ridiculous. Oh, there's a little bit right here. I was expecting the whole thing to look like this. This is the Bondo fender, so I'll have to replace this fender anyways. See what's under there, could be durable. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Sweet. That side's free. Oh, there's a little bit right there too. Should do it. There we go. Really want to pay special attention to these because they'll just let go on you. So now we're getting to my least favorite part. It's actually these headlight assemblies. There's a lot of little fasteners. Everything's kind of delicate, and some of the ones back here are fairly difficult to reach, but it's not that big a deal. First step, in my opinion, is to unplug the turn lamp, and then unbolt the turn lamp. I mean the bolts from the turn lamp assembly side of the operation first. So I like to do these first, just because everything gets kind of noodly. You got that one, and then there's one behind this wire. Basically all you're trying to do is unbolt the lamp assembly from the core support. So you can take the lamp assembly off the core support because it helps hold it in. There's a lot of little brackets, a lot of annoying fiddly little things. You just start unbolting stuff and it kind of falls out. So far I've got 2 flange nuts and 2 bolts off of the back here, and let's see. Now I'm going to take these 2 loose and see where I'm at. I'm using a 7/16 for all of these. Except for the ones I'm not. That went way better than the first time I did that a couple years ago. Okay, now we've just got this. These brackets are kind of weird, I don't really like them, but they are what they are. Got that with those 2 little fasteners right there, and then this top bracket holding everything together, and plus the 2 big bolts on the bottom. So I'm going to go take the other headlight assembly out. So I'm going to turn the camera off for that, and then get into this operation here. So ran into a little bit of a problem with this. I got the turn lamp assembly and the headlight assembly out. However, this screws into the plastic on this coarse threaded side, and then it's got a regular nut on the other side. And it came out of the plastic instead of the nut coming loose because the threads are pretty bad. So I'm going to try and at least just get it out somehow. I already scrubbed it with a brush and WD-40 and everything, but I don't want to come out. This pair of pliers will work perfectly. See if we can't pop that out now. That sounded good. Nope. We gotta take just a little bit more right there. Most effective pair of pliers ever made. Time to remove the fan shroud. There's some unhappy body clips. fully dry. Now we're gonna take out the radiator mount bolts. Guess that one's a 10mm. That one's not happy either. Yeah, not happy. Guess there's only 2 bolts that hold in the 460 radiator. Uh-oh. Got a little more mud to drain out of this radiator. That's all it is. It's even still got the little rubber thingy. Air conditioner unit secured here, here, and then 2 up top. Never had to take one of these out before. Uh-oh. Not happy things are going on. That's what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. It's not good. Let's put that back. So that's going to get ruined if I try and take that off. So I think I'm actually going to try and pull these out instead. Okay, that worked out better. That's very delicate. Wow. The AC gadget is now out. Now I got the core support out. We've got 2 big fasteners right here and right here. And then some dorky little brackets on the corners, air box, and another thing we don't need. The fact that this thing's even here is amazing. This is always unfortunate. Gotta remove the hood latch. I hate doing this because it works so well right now. Oops, wrong bolts. These two. Get this out of the way for now. Disconnect the wires from the thingy-majiggers. Now is probably the most annoying bolts. They're right here, but on the other side they're kind of hard to get to, although this is kind of disintegrating. This is probably the biggest problem I've found so far is this core support. It's really gone just in this one corner, which is repairable, but I'm going to use the other core support that I already went through, so that's going to save me some work. You definitely want to take everything else off before you get to these, otherwise you have to use like a 2-foot extension from all the way up there to all the way down there, and you got to hold a wrench on this end too, so these are kind of a bugger, but no big deal. That's definitely stuck, so it's gonna need some heat and some oil, some lubricant. It's gonna be hard to get heat down in there. Hard to get anything down there. That did work. Ooh. No wonder that was a little stiff. There's a big nut down in there too, but I can't get to it right now because it's stuck. This side's a whole lot easier to access. It still might not be easier. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll just pop right out. I need to find a new bolt. Also, that's not a happy bushing. Just gonna have to do a little prying on that to get that out, so take these mini little teeny tiny fasteners out, this little tiny bracket, pry on that, pop it up a little bit, and that should be about all I do left on the parts board. So that bolt down there, very stuck, it broke in half. I'm gonna have to pry up on it just a little bit. So I'm gonna take these out so I don't be pushing on the fender and rearranging all this geometry when I do that, and then making great progress. These are like super not easy to get in and out. Oh, never mind. If your truck hasn't been wrecked, I guess they're not that hard to get out. I've always been working on stuff that's been wrecked. Super tiny screws. 2 of them right there. The International Harvester stuff that I'm going to put in here is standard, but the body stuff is mostly metric, so this is a 6mm. Just got to get these 2 little guys out of here. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Those are never fun to line up. Totally forgot both of these brackets have to come completely off. That's just 4 bolts on the back. One nice thing is we can actually hit them with a little juice while they're out. Access isn't too bad. Way easier now. More fire, more juice. There we go. Super easy now. The whole bottom of this core support's just falling apart. These are really durable trucks, but the core supports are just absolutely self-disassembling. Totally forgot about those two fasteners. I'm gonna have to take them out on this side. There's nothing there. This side, however, I do. I was a little over that game. Hey, it survived. Okay. This should be the big moment. Nope, battery tray. Okay, there's the big moment. Core support's free. Okay, core support is out, and I think that might actually end up being part 1 because I totally forgot how much work those things are to take out. It's a fair bit of work, and so next up is to kind of just throw some stuff away and then pull the 460 out.